The world was a powder keg in the early 1900s. Nationalism ran high. Empires competed for power. Then on June 28, 1914, a spark ignited the fuse. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, was assassinated in Sarajevo. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia for the assassination and issued an ultimatum with harsh demands. Serbia tried to negotiate, but Austria-Hungary was determined to crush them. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. A complex web of alliances drew the great powers of Europe into the fray. World War I had begun, a war unlike any the world had ever seen. Before the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Europe was a network of alliances. These alliances were meant to prevent war, but instead made it inevitable. On one side was the Triple Alliance: Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Germany under Kaiser Wilhelm II had grown into a military and industrial powerhouse. Austria-Hungary, a sprawling empire, was struggling to hold together its diverse ethnicities. Italy initially remained neutral at the start of the war, but later joined the Allied powers. On the other side was the Triple Entente: France, Russia, and Great Britain. France wanted to regain Alsace-Lorraine from Germany. Russia saw itself as the protector of Slavic peoples, including Serbia. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, it set off a chain reaction that quickly engulfed Europe in war. World War I introduced a new kind of warfare: trench warfare. On the Western Front, a line of trenches stretched for hundreds of miles from the English Channel to Switzerland. Life in the trenches was miserable. Soldiers endured constant shelling, machine gun fire, and sniper attacks. The trenches were infested with rats, lice, and disease. Soldiers lived in constant fear and uncertainty. They never knew when an attack might come or when they might be ordered over the top to charge across no man's land. This barren strip of land between the trenches was littered with barbed wire, shell craters, and the bodies of fallen soldiers. Trench warfare led to a stalemate on the Western Front. Battles often devolved into bloody, attritional slogs with massive casualties on both sides. Section 4. Blood and Mud. The Battles of the Western Front. The Western Front was the scene of some of the bloodiest battles in human history. The Battle of the Somme, which began on July 1, 1916, was one of the deadliest. On the first day alone, the British suffered nearly 60,000 casualties. By the end of the battle, over 1 million men had been killed or wounded. The Battle of Verdun, which began in February 1916, was another long and costly battle. German forces launched a massive offensive against the French fortress city of Verdun. The battle raged for months with heavy casualties on both sides. The French, determined to hold on to Verdun, famously declared, "They shall not pass." These battles achieved little strategic gain but resulted in unimaginable loss of life. Section 5. New weapons of a new kind of war. World War I saw the introduction of new technologies that would forever change the face of warfare. The machine gun, improved upon in the years before the war, became a fearsome weapon on the battlefield. It could fire hundreds of rounds per minute, mowing down attacking troops with ease. Poison gas was first used by the Germans in 1915. Chlorine gas, mustard gas, and other chemical weapons were deployed to devastating effect. Tanks were first used by the British in 1916. Early tanks were slow and unreliable, but they showed the potential of armored warfare. Airplanes, still in their infancy, were first used for reconnaissance and observation. These new technologies, while intended to break the stalemate, only added to the war's brutality. Section 6. A flawed peace. The Treaty of Versailles. After 4 long years of war, Germany and its allies were defeated. The armistice was signed on November 11, 1918. The victorious allies met in Paris to negotiate the peace. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended the war. However, the treaty's harsh terms for Germany sowed the seeds of future conflict. The treaty blamed Germany for the war and imposed heavy reparations payments on the defeated nation. Germany lost territory and was forced to disarm. The treaty also created the League of Nations, an international organization intended to prevent future wars. The Treaty of Versailles was deeply flawed and left Germany economically crippled, fueling resentment that contributed to the rise of extremist ideologies.